Hey guys, so if you haven't already heard, I'm switching my format to instead of reviewing all comics in the week in one video, doing two per video um, every week. So this video, as you can tell from the title, I will be reviewing Reverse Flash #1 and Lobo #1, or Flash 23.1 and Justice League 23.2. I think I got those numbers correct. Sweet. Sweet I did. Wait, no, Flash is 23.2. Close enough. So we will get started with Flash. So as it appears on the book, this is about Reverse Flash, and we've already seen what he can do in the main Flash comic. The whole current arc is about him. So now we kind of see where he comes from. So this is an origin story. I don't think it really ties in much to Forever Evil. In fact, I don't think it does at all, because at the end we still have the Flash alive. I think he's not disappeared like the rest of the Justice League. And he doesn't really cross over with any other villains as a lot of the villains in the other comics do. So this is just kind of a pure Reverse Flash story. Which I kind of enjoy, which is a good kind of twist, where it's just a low and bite-sized sort of thing. So this tells us that Reverse Flash is Daniel West, brother of Iris West, and that, like almost every other character in the DC universe, he grew up in quite the abusive household. His mother died early on, and his father was a jerk to him. And so he ended up running away from the family at a very young age, after paralyzing his father by mistake. And after running away, his life really went downhill, kind of turned to a life of crime. He was always he dropped out of school. He went to juvie. As soon as he got out of juvie, he tried to do a small robbery, which put him in adult prison. And since then, when he went back to Central City, he was caught in the middle of the guerrilla war, caught between the guerrillas and the rogues. And during that, as he was trying to escape all that, he ran into the gate to the Time Force, or the Speed Force, the portal to that, which did a real number on him. He ended up fusing with the monorail that was stuck in the Speed Force dimension, or whatever, along with the speed powers, which he ended up getting. He also became fused with the monorail, and the monorail kind of became part of him. And that is basically his origin story of how he became Reverse Flash. And now as Reverse Flash, he is making it his mission basically to correct the hellhole of a life he had by, a lot like Flashpoint actually, going all the way back in time to his childhood, and he tries to kill his father before his father could ruin his family. As this then ties back into the main Flash storyline, through time travel shenanigans. But yeah, I really like this book. I really liked how, like I said, how it's not really connected to anything else. It's just easily digestible outside of the whole of the rest of the Villains Month. Reverse Flash, he's not completely sympathetic, because he is a screw-up. He never did the right thing. He never made the right decisions in his life, which I think he actually kind of says out loud in the comic. But he still has this powerful urge to correct it, and I guess that's kind of sympathetic, that he knows he's wrong, he knows he's a screw-up, but he's trying to make it better, and not just for himself, but for his sister, who he feels that he had abandoned when they were young by running away. So he's not just a flat character out for revenge against a previous abuser. He has he has a bit more depth to him. Kind of an anti-villain thing like what Mr. Freeze used to have before he was just a crazy guy. Um, and of course, the art's fantastic. I think this is still. I think this is just the Flash creative team. Yeah, Francis Manapul wrote it. The art, same artist. And they still do. They still do the DC Comics Reverse Flash thing, which they kept from the normal Flash run. So this is just another really good issue of the Flash. Completely honest, to be completely honest, which has been one of the better comics. So pick it up. And now the second comic, we have Lobo #1, Justice League 23.2, which features something very controversial, something that has been talked about a lot, the new Lobo design, which you can see pretty much in full here, who looks nothing like the Lobo on the cover, and apparently, as this story tells us in this book, this Lobo is a faker. Someone who stole the Lobo name and brand and just kind of made it his own. And this is the original Lobo. It was the same species. He's still a, I forgot what this species is called. Give me a second. He is still a Zarnian, so still a Zarnian, like the old Lobo. Still a bounty hunter, like the old Lobo. But more fancy, I guess. More elegant, whatever. More of that. More of a professional, I guess. Here's another good look at him in full. And I mean, I did not like this design at all when it was first revealed, but I think this story really kind of justifies it. It really makes him his own new character instead of just a redesign of Lobo. This is just a completely new character, just happens to have the same name. And we still get to keep the Lobo on the cover, apparently. But this is just an introduction to a completely new character, and as a single issue doing that, I think it does it pretty well. It establishes the new Lobo as his own character, with his own methods, his own way of speaking, his own motives, personality, and all that. The whole story is kind of a day in the life sort of thing. He's a bounty hunter. We see him go after a couple bounties in this, and the narration is all his internal thoughts, his internal monologue. So we really get to see how he perceives the world and how he perceives his job, and just how terribly efficient he is at it. Just like the other Lobo, he is the best at what he does. Well, that's Wolverine, but he is the best at what he does. There's a reason people keep on hiring him, and it's because he is efficient. So we see a couple of fights here. He gets into a fight with some aliens while trying to transport some cargo that he's been hired to transport. It is revealed the cargo is people, and he tells them to get back in the cage because he has a job to do. And then we find out at the end we have this Lobo going after the Lobo we already know and love, and that promises to be quite interesting, I think. The kind of savage 90s parody Lobo and this new guy who's much more efficient. So overall, I like this book a lot more than I thought I would. I like this new Lobo a lot more than I thought I would, and I really can't wait for the two to meet because they have an interesting sort of dynamic that's explored in this comic, where this one just completely stole everything else from the other one, and the first Lobo wants his name back, basically. So yeah, better than I thought it would be. So again, there are more comics to review this week if you're interested. We have some Superman and Batman stuff coming up. And again, more comics next week if you're interested. If you like this video, please like the video, subscribe if you want to. If you have any opinions or questions or anything you want to ask, do so in the comments or feel free to message me. And I hope you enjoyed watching. Please come back next week. Thanks.